All right, guys, welcome back to a new update. I know I took a couple days off, so let me kind of catch you guys back up and we'll take our time with this video. So, right now, I would just say take a look at the map and just kind of see how we've expanded thus far. As you can see, we're closing in on Australia, and I'll zoom in and fill you guys in on what's going on. But for right now, I just want you guys to kind of just be able to just see what's going on just from a visual standpoint. We're going to make this video a bit more extensive so we can really break down what's going on. So all my teammates that are on YouTube, you can see where my mind is at. I can kind of give you guys just a little understanding of what I'm looking at as far as going into the future on this map and where we're at currently. Some of the concerns with some of the coalition members, some of the things I think I need to address to the coalition. Also, just always want to remind anybody that's watching, if you have any questions, any concerns, anything that you are, interested about, if you want to join one of these games with me, the next time I start a new game, which will be in a couple, maybe about a week or two, I'm gonna start a new game. So if you want to get in on one of these games where you can follow yourself on YouTube and see, how you look on the overall map. And then, I will be giving you commentary about what I think about your performance as a coalition member. And so, with that being said, we will start with Perth. I love what Perth is doing over here. I've been watching Perth, but some of his strategies, the way he has expanded and mobilized his troops, and I got to give Perth some credit. As you can see here, he has he got his troops in great position. I was looking here at Warburton. He's sending 17 troops to him to his 15. But he knows he has no reason to panic because he has a nice fort there waiting on him that he probably already was working on. So, very skilled player. He's already taken over this country here, and he has expanded. So I'm covered from this back end. We got this whole area covered. So what I'm thinking, I'm guessing he will be trying to get through these guys here and clean that up at some point. But so far, so good with Perth. I have a good, strong teammate here with Perth. And that's important, guys, that you recognize the guys on your team who will be able to help you later on down the line. This is a competitive game, but you also have to learn when to slow down and see, okay, I got a teammate here who, when it really gets nasty out here and we really have to get into these battles with some of these bigger countries, I know I can count on Perth to be equipped to help me in that situation. One thing you got to understand about a game like this is that every member of a coalition must play their part. As a coalition leader, I can only advise and give you so much leeway or help, if that makes any sense. You have to help yourself in this game. And if you don't know something, that's where you can ask questions. And let me give some people some advice. Let's say you're in a game like this, right? And you find yourself in situations where you're not growing, you're not expanding, right? The best thing I would do is figure out how I can assist those who are expanding, because that would make you more valuable. But if you just sit around, guys, and you don't really communicate and you don't really show how you are asset to the coalition, then you put yourself in danger. So I just wanted to express that, I pay attention to those who are strong in my coalition, and I pay attention to those who are weak. And a lot of times, in the beginning of the game, the strong ones, we tend to look at each other in a competitive way. But now, me and Perth, we can look at each other in a more cooperative way, as to know, okay, we got two strong players moving down the line. I like what Brisbane. Let's go to another coalition member. I like what Brisbane has done, because one thing about Brisbane, he didn't just sit back and wait for somebody to give him something. He took the initiative to spread out and try to get provinces. And so I have to give him some respect for that. And he made himself a part of this game by just showing some initiative. And now I will say this. Let me see here. Let me go to something real quick. Okay. Now Brisbane, this is where I found this I felt the need to address this. I need energy. I have 0 on oil, gas, and coal. Okay. Then Perth responds to him and says, then focus on getting that. And then he says, I do have to admit that we all got our together again and worked together. Good job. This is where leadership comes into play. Brisbane says he needs some help, right? Only issue I have with what Brisbane is saying here is that, because he didn't respond, because I wrote this right before he wrote that he needed energy, he has 0, energy. So I said I can trade a little oil for metal. And he responds by saying this. So am I supposed to just give him oil? No. It's called trading. But I'm gonna give him because he's my teammate, I would give him a good trade that will help him. But you have to give me something. So why not give me some of the metal you got, or some of the wood you got, or some of the food you may have? No one is just going to give you their resources because you're teammates. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I need to point that out. Now, if I have an overabundance and whatnot, yeah. But just to be giving somebody your energy that you accumulated for your nation and to move forward, absolutely not. So I thought that was interesting. But I would not have responded the way Perth responded. He said, then focus on getting that. I would just more so just leave it blank and not respond to that, because there's nothing really to respond. I mean, that's just a statement. I need energy. Okay, we all need more energy. I have a deficit in my energy, but I know how to manage it. So what it really sounds like is he needs to learn how to manage his resources, and that's something that I can give him some tips on. But I'm realizing that's what his issue is. You have to know how to manage your resources, guys. Sometimes in the beginning of the game, you have to buy those resources that you don't have a lot of while it's cheap. Because in the beginning of the game, everything is cheap. So if I know that I'm not, based on how I start the game, that I'm lacking in certain resources, automatically I'm going to buy it with the money I have, and I'll try to sell some of the stuff that I do have a lot of resources in. So I think that's where Brisbane may have messed up a little bit in the beginning, is just you have to understand how to manage your own resources, guys. All right? But I like what Brisbane has done overall. He has expanded, and he's looking good. Now, Port Macquarie. I will say that Port Macquarie missed a lot of opportunities. For example, I saw this wide open for a while. And Port Macquarie, you had a lot of troops set up here, and he could have easily took these provinces with no problem. And I just saw Port Macquarie kind of just take its time, and not really mobilizing, and taking advantage of the weak spots. So as you can see, I don't have, but I took this entire country with about 8 troops, literally about 8 troops, and I just moved and mobilized all of these other troops here now. But I got this entire area here, guys, with about 8 troops. So it was a piece of cake for Port Macquarie, for Sydney, or even for Brisbane to come on in here and get that. And that's just something that you have to recognize. And maybe they didn't see it, maybe they didn't recognize it, and maybe my experience helped me see that this was wide open. And as you can see, I've got it now, I've maintained it. And so now I benefit from that because I got all these new resources that I can utilize. So it's very important, guys, to when you're playing a game like this, you have to pay attention to weak spots. Because if you don't, then you're going to miss opportunities that are going to cost you. This is not a game that you can miss opportunities, guys. And when I see my teammates miss it, I can't make them, do anything. So I have to show some leadership. And so that's what I did, I believe, in this area here. All right. So now let's move forward. I've cut into Alice Springs here, and we're going to go ahead and try to wrap this up and try to close that out. And I think that my goal, well, I won't share that yet. I won't share that yet. Won't share that yet. Just thought about that, guys. We'll just, as you can see from the map, if you have any experience in this game, you can kind of see where I'm going with this. And I see Perth where he's going with it. So we're trying to close out Australia, guys. We're trying to get this thing over with so we can move forward and try to get to another continent. That's why I made the jump over here. But let me break this down for you guys real quick. I got another interesting situation here. I got South Dutch Papua. Now, South Dutch Papua came back over here and has not done anything really. He's been very immobile. And so he's been losing provinces. As you can see, Roper Gulf is still alive because we have not, or should I say, Dutch Papua has not attacked with the amount of men he had. I've already weakened Roper Gulf up by him attacking me. So there's no reason why South Dutch Papua, my coalition member, should not have been able to come in and just take care of this. So I gave him, as you can see, I'm even on the backside here. So I gave him time to try and take care of this. So that's why now I'm going ahead and trying to go ahead and take these provinces back. Try to go ahead and get rid of Roper Gulf. And so, but what I find interesting about South Papua is he began to work closely with Dutch West Papua. And so I don't know what their agreement is. I don't know what their situation is. But what I do know is that Dutch West Papua is not a coalition member of mine. And so I have no loyalty to Dutch West Papua. Now, I did send him a message before saying that maybe we could use him, or maybe I would allow him to join the coalition, but that was never confirmed. And the reason why I would not allow him to join the coalition is because I look at the progress you make. And so we're on what day is it? Day 16. And he has only this amount of progress. That's not enough progress for me to say, okay, you can join this coalition. We are an elite coalition that is going to be very formidable in this game. And we can't allow anyone to join the coalition. And if you're not going to join the coalition, that means you're in the way. So at this stage, I've decided to go ahead and get rid of Dutch West Papua. And another thing I saw that he did was he removed a lot of his guys and he put them in the water. That I don't know why he did that, but really doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So he weakened up all of his provinces here by removing those guys, and so we're going to go ahead and take those and move on forward. And I did not consult with South Dutch Papua about that because I don't have to. It's Southwest Papua's job to see the weakness here. So I don't know if he made an agreement with him or what, but that has nothing to do with me. And me being in the position that I'm in, I would think that South Dutch Papua would confide in me about some of the things that he plans on doing or not doing. And if he makes any agreement with anyone outside of the coalition, it would be important to let me know that as well, which he has not done. So at this stage, we're fine, but I'm moving forward to go ahead and erode him from this area. As you can see, I've taken over this island here, and we're in to go ahead and get to these guys as well. So we got these. We're going to try to get that taken care of, and I've already got guys en route over here. I took over that, and I have a boat already on its way to help me deal with this situation here. So we're in great shape, guys. We're expanding, and I just wanted to give you guys a full, thorough update because it has been a couple days, and I wanted to make sure you guys see where we're at and what our goals are. So that's where we're at, and till next time, stay tuned, guys. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe so you can stay locked in with us. And like I said, the next time, I will always let you guys know in one of the videos when I will be doing another game so that you will have enough time to be ready, and I'll show you which game it is. You'll know how to get on the game. You'll have the game code, and we'll start the game at the same time so we can all be on the same page, and we can start the game off with already a strong coalition. This is my first time playing with this group of guys as a coalition, and I hope it's not the last time, because we'll get better, we'll get stronger as teammates, and we'll be able to trust each other a little more as we move forward. So I think that's also important. That's why I'm not so quick to kick somebody out of the coalition just because they may not have been expanding or growing as fast as I want them to. I won't do that because we're making establish that as having some trust, that even if you're not at your best, even if you can't commit to the game 24/7, once you're a part of this coalition, we want to keep you a part of the coalition up to a certain point. Because at some point, when you're too weak, you become a hindrance, and you become a weak spot that the enemy can attack. So that's when I would have to eradicate someone from the coalition. It was when they're so weak that they become a weak spot for the enemy. But other than that, I don't think it's a good idea to get rid of coalition members so quickly. I think it's important to value every member, because you never know what they'll bring to the table later on in the game. So I have a full roster. I don't have any openings. I have several other countries that want to join our coalition. And so that's something I will have to consider moving forward. But right now, we're still getting our stuff together. Oh, and you know what, guys? Let me apologize. I'll be forgetting about one of my biggest coalition members, Mindanao. He's been working his butt off. He's taken over this whole island, and he took over this whole entire continent. So he's in great shape. And so I'm glad to have him as a coalition member, and he will be able to help us segue into Asia, because that's where I believe the next attack needs to come. So let's just stay patient, focused. We have a strong team, and we're going to move from there. All right. So thank you guys for joining me for this update, and until next time, be safe, stay blessed.